What if the Kia you thought was a bargain is actually costing you thousands more than a model that costs more up front? That is the question we set out to answer, and what we found is going to change the way you think about buying a Kia, or any car for that matter. Most people shop by sticker price. They walk into the dealership, look at the monthly payment, maybe glance at the fuel economy badge on the window sticker and call it a day. But the sticker price is only a fraction of what you will actually spend over the years you own that vehicle. The real number, the true cost of ownership, includes everything from insurance and fuel to depreciation, maintenance, and the repairs that tend to show up right after the warranty expires. Here is what you need to know before we dive in. True cost of ownership is calculated across a 5-year window, which is how long the average American keeps a new vehicle. We are looking at depreciation, fuel costs based on national average driving habits, insurance premiums, scheduled maintenance, and repair frequency data pulled from real-world ownership reports. Every Kia model on sale today is included, from the most affordable entry-level sedan all the way up to the flagship SUV. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which Kia gives you the most for your money and which ones quietly drain your wallet year after year. Let us get into it. Rank 1. Kia Niro, the quietly brilliant choice. Picture this. You are at a backyard cookout and someone asks what you drive. You say the Niro. Nobody gasps. Nobody asks to see it. It does not exactly command the room, and that is precisely why it tops this list. The Kia Niro, especially in its hybrid configuration, has one of the lowest 5-year ownership costs of any vehicle in its class. The problem most shoppers face is that they overlook it entirely. They walk past it on the lot to get to the Sportage or the Soul and never stop to do the math. That math, it turns out, is staggering in the Niro's favor. Here is what happens when you ignore it. You end up in a crossover with a higher fuel bill, steeper insurance premiums, and faster depreciation. Over 5 years, that gap can reach anywhere from $4,000 to $7,000 just from not looking at the Niro closely enough. The hybrid version returns around 50 miles per gallon combined, which means you are spending significantly less at the pump every single month. Insurance rates for the Niro set below the segment average because its safety ratings are strong and its repair costs are modest. Depreciation is also well controlled because the hybrid powertrain has proven itself reliable enough that the used market holds value steadily. The simple truth is that the Niro does everything a compact crossover needs to do. It does it efficiently, and it does it without demanding much from your bank account in return. We will see how the rest of the lineup compares as we work through the rankings. Rank 2, Kia Rio, the entry point that actually holds its value. Imagine a recent college graduate buying their first car. Budget is tight. The Rio looks perfect on paper. Low sticker price, good gas mileage, and a payment that fits inside a reasonable monthly budget. What most of those buyers do not think to ask is what the Rio is going to cost them over the next 5 years, not just the next 5 months. The answer is actually pretty encouraging. The Kia Rio consistently ranks as one of the most affordable vehicles to own across its entire 5-year life cycle. The challenge is that shoppers sometimes underestimate it as a bare-bones economy car and assume it must come with compromise in reliability. The data says otherwise. Repair frequency for the Rio is low by subcompact standards. When repairs are needed, the parts are inexpensive and widely available, which keeps labor costs down, whether you go to a dealership or an independent shop. Fuel economy in the mid-30s on the highway means it is not flashy on paper, but it is consistent and predictable. Insurance is among the lowest you will find for any new vehicle, partly because the replacement cost is modest, and partly because the safety profile has improved significantly in recent model years. The Rio does drop more steeply in depreciation compared to the Niro, that is worth noting, but because the purchase price is so low, the actual dollar loss is still contained. For buyers who want the lowest possible out-of-pocket expense across 5 years, the Rio is a genuinely strong contender, and most people never give it a fair shot. Rank 3. Kia Forte, the sleeper sedan. You should not be sleeping on. Think about a family that has been driving the same aging sedan for 8 years. They are shopping for something reliable, practical, and affordable to keep running. They test drive the Forte, like it, and then talk themselves into spending more on an SUV because it feels more substantial. 3 years later, they are dealing with higher insurance bills, a steeper loan, and fuel costs that are 20% higher than the Forte would have been. This plays out more often than you might think. The Forte is a compact sedan that punches well above its price point in terms of long-term ownership value. The issue is that sedans have fallen out of fashion. And Kia's marketing does not push the Forte nearly as hard as it does the Sportage or the Telluride, so it gets overlooked by people who would actually benefit most from it. Here is what gets missed. The Forte's powertrain, a turbocharged option, is available alongside the naturally aspirated base engine, delivers strong fuel economy with a fun-to-drive character that keeps owners satisfied long enough to avoid trading early, which is one of the most expensive decisions you can make. Trading a car in the first 2 to 3 years locks in the steepest part of the depreciation curve. Forte owners tend to hold on longer, and that behavior alone saves them money. Maintenance costs are straightforward, the reliability record is solid, and insurance premiums are competitive. Over 5 years, the Forte represents one of the best returns on your automotive dollar in the entire Kia lineup. The sedan may be out of style, the savings are not. There is one more thing worth saying about the Forte that often goes unsaid in car reviews. The cost of scheduled maintenance on this car is genuinely low. Oil changes are inexpensive, tire rotations are straightforward, and the brake pads tend to last longer than average because the car is lighter than most of what Kia sells. When you add up every service interval across a 5-year ownership period, the Forte's maintenance bill comes in well below what drivers of compact SUVs and crossovers typically face. That is real money staying in your pocket, not hypothetical savings from a marketing brochure. Rank 4. Kia Sportage, the sweet spot with a small catch. Here is a scenario that plays out at Kia dealerships across the country every weekend. A buyer comes in wanting something practical for the family, maybe a little more cargo space than a sedan, something that feels current. They sit in the Sportage, love the interior, love the tech, and sign paperwork that same afternoon. It is a perfectly reasonable decision, but there is a catch that the salesperson is not going to bring up. The Sportage is the best-selling Kia in America, and that popularity actually works against it slightly when it comes to long-term cost, because there are so many of them on the road. Used Sportage values face more competition when you eventually go to sell or trade. Not a dramatic problem, but a real one. More meaningfully, moving from a sedan or subcompact to a crossover like the Sportage means a real jump in fuel costs and insurance premiums. Neither cost is outrageous in isolation, but together they add up to a noticeable difference across 5 years. Before we go further, if you are finding this breakdown useful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. We do this kind of real-world ownership analysis across every major brand so you can make smarter decisions with your money. Hit the button and you will not miss a single one. Now back to the Sportage. The hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions change the calculation meaningfully. If you are considering the Sportage and can plug in at home, the PHEV version drops your fuel costs dramatically and can push the Sportage higher in the rankings. The standard gasoline version is still a solid, well-rounded vehicle with good reliability numbers and reasonable maintenance costs. It simply requires a clear-eyed understanding that the convenience of the crossover format comes with a modest cost premium. At rank 4, the Sportage earns its place as the most balanced mainstream pick in the lineup, just not the most economical one. Rank 5, Kia Telluride, worth every penny but know what you are paying. Here is a situation a lot of growing families find themselves in. 3 kids, a dog, a camping habit, and a need for something that can handle all of it without feeling like a sacrifice. They look at the Telluride, fall completely in love, and decide the price is worth it. The good news is that they are not wrong. The bad news is that they rarely go in with a complete picture of what they will spend. The Telluride is genuinely one of the best 3-row SUVs on the market. Kia knocked it out of the park with the design, the interior quality, and the capability. The issue is not that the Telluride is a bad value. It is that buyers sometimes purchase it thinking about sticker price without accounting for the full ownership math. Insurance on a $50,000 plus SUV is meaningfully higher than on a compact. Fuel costs for a vehicle this size, even with its reasonably efficient V6, are substantially higher than anything else on this list. And while reliability has been strong, the repair costs when something does go wrong are naturally higher, simply because the components involved are larger and more expensive. Depreciation is actually one of the Telluride's strengths. Demand has been so consistent since launch that it holds its value better than almost any other 3-row SUV in its segment. That is a genuine cushion. But the ongoing costs of fuel and insurance are real, and buyers who are surprised by them tend to become frustrated owners. Go in with clear eyes, understand what the monthly true cost looks like beyond the payment, and the Telluride is an excellent investment. Go in thinking only about the payment and the sticker shock just gets delayed by 12 months. One practical suggestion for anyone seriously considering the Telluride: run the numbers on the EX trim versus the SX. The jump in purchase price between those trims is significant, but the long-term cost difference is modest because the underlying mechanical components are the same. Many owners find the EX hits every feature they actually use on a daily basis without adding the depreciation burden that comes with the higher trim purchase price. That decision alone can recover several $1,000s over a 5-year ownership window, which makes a genuinely excellent SUV even easier to justify. Rank 6. Kia EV6. The future is real, but the math is still maturing. Picture someone who has been reading about electric vehicles for 2 years, watching every review. Convinced they are ready to make the leap, they buy the EV6. 6 months in, they love the driving experience, but they are also navigating public charging costs that vary wildly depending on where they live, a home charger installation they did not fully budget for, and an insurance premium that surprised them at renewal time. The EV6 is a legitimate technological achievement and a genuinely compelling vehicle. The question that every buyer needs to answer honestly before purchasing is whether their daily life and infrastructure supports electric ownership in a way that unlocks the savings electric vehicles promise. When it does, the EV6 can be exceptional from a cost of ownership perspective. Fuel, gasolina, or more precisely, electricity, is dramatically cheaper than gasoline, and maintenance requirements drop significantly when you remove the oil changes, spark plugs, exhaust components, and transmission services that internal combustion vehicles demand. When the conditions are not right, apartment living, limited home charging access, frequent long road trips, the EV6's cost advantages shrink considerably, and the inconveniences compound. Battery replacement remains the wildcard. Kia's warranty coverage is strong, but long-term battery degradation and the cost of replacement outside warranty territory is still a relatively unknown quantity compared to the decades of data we have on gasoline powertrains. The EV6 lands at rank 6 not because it is a poor vehicle, but because the ownership cost equation is the most variable of any model in the lineup. And variable means risky for buyers who have not done the specific homework for their situation. There is also the insurance factor that surprises a lot of EV6 buyers. Because the vehicle's repair costs after a collision are higher than average, largely due to the battery pack's sensitivity and the cost of the specialized components involved, insurance premiums run meaningfully above what comparable gasoline vehicles command. That premium does not disappear as the car ages. In some cases, it increases as the vehicle becomes less common among repair shops with the right certifications. Factor that into your 5-year math before signing anything, because it is a cost that compounds quietly in the background year after year, regardless of how carefully you drive. The bottom line. Here's what this ranking comes down to. The sticker price is not the price. It never was. The price is what you spend over the years you own the vehicle. Fuel, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and whatever you walk away with when it is time to sell or trade. Those numbers tell a very different story than the window sticker, and most buyers never look at them closely enough. The Kia Niro wins this ranking because it delivers strong transportation value across every cost category simultaneously. The Rio wins for buyers who need to keep absolute costs as low as possible. The Forte is the sleeper that too many people overlook in favor of an SUV they do not actually need. The Sportage is the right move for families who need the space and are willing to pay a modest premium for the crossover lifestyle, especially in hybrid form. The Telluride is worth it when you go in with complete information. And the EV6 can be exceptional if your life is set up to support it, or expensive if it is not. The most expensive car buying mistake is not choosing the wrong model. It is choosing without knowing what the real number is. Now you know it. If you want to keep making smarter decisions about your vehicle, subscribe to the channel. We break down ownership costs, reliability data, and manufacturer tricks across every major brand. Drop a comment below and let us know which Kia you drive or which one you are considering. We read every one of them. See you in the next video.